Before this video begins, I want to real quick thank you all the people who have participated in this podcast. Link to all of them will be in the description. Now, let's go to the first interview, shall we? There we go. So, what do you have to talk about the podcast now? You have not gotten any of the questions or anything before this because I didn't want you to prepare for this. I wanted it to be just basically out of nowhere and you just had to like think of the things on the spot.
Okay.
How was it when you joined, for example? Now, you've been on the Discord server for a while. How was it since you joined, and how have you seen it evolve? Like, how have you seen the community evolve?
Seen it like grow. Like more people have joined.
Definitely.
Memes.
I mean, we're currently on, give me a sec, members. We are 110 members on the Discord.
God.
Yeah, we're actually quite a lot.
But that's a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't it have like 50 odds when I joined?
Yeah, it was around 50 when you
most
joined.
Most of them weren't active.
Yeah, we don't have that many active people, but then again, it's not made to chat. It's mostly just made for people to like, oh, there's a new podcast, you know? But like, even though that it's like that, we still have quite a lot of people like just talking recently, especially like, if, for example, Terrifying Boy and some other people on the server has been quite active chatting with me, for example. So it's actually really nice seeing like the community almost doing a 100 or 360 and just like turning around from being dead to all of a sudden being active. It's been quite nice seeing. Is there anything about like the? I know you've listened to some of the podcasts. What do you think of those?
I like them.
Like how was it from like the very first to now?
God, I didn't watch the first one. I think I watched 16. I think I watched number 16, and that's kind of it.
Oh, okay. Well, how has it evolved from number 16 then?
To be honest, it's only 4 episodes. Not much for evolution, but
No.
Yeah, it's nice. I like the fact that it's part of a, for the most part, dead community, but it's part of it still chugging. I get.
Yeah. Like, personally speaking, I really love the fact that it's more of a community that's like, oh, that doesn't really depend on it being active, but more just the viewers being there, watching the podcast. And then, of course, I love the fact that when people like come in voice chat with me, chat with others, play games with us, it's really awesome. Like, it's really cool, but like,
the community coming together.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically an escape for all the other two kinds of places there are. That's basically what I would say. You know? But I guess that's kind of just it about that, for example. But what would you like to see happen in the podcast? What would you like to see in the future?
I don't know. As far as I know, it's pretty good. It's in a good place where it is.
Yeah,
as I can tell.
I mean, I strive myself to do as good as we absolutely can, but of course, there's always things we can do better with the podcast.
There's always room for improvement.
There's always, and now I'm not in any way, shape, or form any professional fucking editor. That's easy to look at, but I definitely try my very, very best to make it as good as I can, but lately I've been trying my best to improve the editing and improve the way I edit and just making it kind of easier to do as well, you know? Making it easier so we can actually have like, okay, the whole editing process is easy, therefore I can focus more on the actual
the actual quality of the podcast.
Exactly. Because definitely editing is kind of stressful, especially for me, because let's face it, man. Having a schedule is stressful. It really is. It's annoying. But then again, I would rather have a schedule, stress the fuck out of myself, and then know the fact that people actually watch the podcasts and know when it comes out, and that kind of stuff. I would way rather have it like that then. But like, it's odd, really. It's odd going from being that tiny channel that tried to make a podcast with 20 subscribers to like 156 and about to hit the 20th episode. That's insane. Like, really, almost all of our videos have over 100 views. There's There's two videos on our channel that does not have over 100 views. That is insane. That's absolutely amazing.
I'm pretty sure those are like the most recent ones.
One of them is the stream I made. But like, that kind of makes sense due to the fact that, again, it was a stream and most people probably don't want to watch a stream again, you know? But like, it still has 67 views. That is a lot. And just going back on our first, that one was absolute cringe. It's kind of incredible. But like, that had 436 views. What? That is ridiculous, man. And our interview with Cookie Dragon had like 300. It's ridiculous. Like, honestly, man, like, Jesus. People have really went insane with like the support on the podcast, and that's absolutely wonderful. In fact, I was, to be honest, when I was planning this whole episode that I'm planning and we're doing right now, I was like on the brim of actually crying. I was so emotional. I don't know why. Like, it just kind of hit me how lucky I am to have everything that I've gotten from the podcast and the community and the support that's been given to us. You know. That's just been really amazing, and I of course hope to see more in the future of this. Like, I love the support, and I love to make what I'm doing. I want to continue as long as I can.
Keeps the community alive.
Anyways, so I have one last thing to say to you. And that is, do you have anything left? Do you have anything, like, you could do anything in the entire world. What would you do with the podcast? Anything. Even the most unimaginable things right now, throw them at me.
More people watching it, more people from the community watching it. More people of the community being active in the community. More of the people who like reading TwoKinds, finding the podcast and watching it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It definitely would, yeah. That is a good wish. That is a good wish. Other than that, just want to say thank you so much for participating. It means a lot that you want to participate in this and support the podcast in a way you haven't supported before. So, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Now, I forgot to mention the next person coming on the podcast, but they are called Vonnie. And I want to thank you, Grognak, for appearing on the podcast. His socials will be in the description, as well as Vonnie's. So, if you do enjoy their interviews, please do go down and follow them. Now, back to past Comrade and Vonnie. So, now it's your time to speak.
Alright, so far, the podcast has been exponentially developing when it comes to the episodes in the TwoKinds related topics, and I really love how you're going with the podcast so far, Comrade. When it comes to every episode, making sure it goes over every single aspect of TwoKinds and really just explaining and evaluating the whole story to the people who don't really concentrate as much in the comic. I just want to ask you a few questions when it comes to the podcast in general. Have you ever had any like difficulties when it comes to thinking of topic ideas in certain episodes, or have you ever, come to a landslide when it comes to ideas in a whole?
Yeah, lately I have. As you can see, we've more become a news station than a podcast at this point, due to the fact, first of all, I'm missing my co-host. Second of all, I've been having a lot of stress lately, and a lot of stuff has been happening in my real life. But because of that, it's been really hard for me to like actually make a good topic. So I've basically just been saying, okay, now we get one good topic, and if we just talk about the new pages and the new sketches and kind of get it over with that way. That's kind of what I've been doing lately, but I do believe that we will be getting back to the theories and the what we think will happen in the comic soon.
Right, because what you've been going over recently is just basically the sketches and more, not really on the lore side of the two kinds,
Not really.
which can, because of your loss of Pajoshi, makes it much more harder to come up with theories and lore-related topics when it comes to
Yeah.
your podcast, which I
Especially
do
for me,
understand. And you have
sorry for interrupting, but like, especially for me, because like, you cannot do that kind of stuff alone. You need to talk with someone about that, because you can be thinking, oh yeah, all that, and then all of a sudden you forgot something, you know? Like that could easily happen.
You do need a second person when it comes to having a podcast, because if you have only one person, you're just going to have one side of the argument, which wouldn't really make sense when it comes to the podcast. You like having two people or even more, where they have different ideas, different sides of the story, their own thoughts and feelings on a certain topic. That's how it makes a podcast more efficient. It makes everyone seeing the different sides of the views when it comes to a certain topic or idea, or so and so.
But like, what is your thoughts on the growth of the community, mostly in the Discord, because that's where you mostly been, but like the community on the podcast?
Mostly in the community when it comes to Discord. The server has improved massively, and I really love how it's gotten to such a point where there's more and more people being in that server. It's more active. It's got more implications that allow the server to actually thrive and have a nice time. But when it comes to the podcast as well, the YouTube podcast, it has been gaining popularity, which is good, and it's been getting bigger and bigger, and it shows how it's getting more attention out there. It's basically getting your efforts are paying off when it comes to you trying your best to make it the best podcast for something you actually enjoy. And I really love how it's gotten to this point, and I love to see your dedication and hard work being paid off, showing your really true involvement to the TwoKinds.
Yeah, it has been really odd, but like also at the same time awesome to see like the community accepting the actual podcast as they have. It's been odd, but like at the same time it's been absolutely awesome, because of the fact that all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, you actually do a really, really good job. And I was like, just started this for fun. I did it because why not?
Yeah.
No one had done it, so I just thought to myself, well, I'm gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, boom, we have apparently made a hit that a lot of people liked, and that's really heartwarming in a sense, like,
Yeah, I feel like every single franchise, every single thing that exists, TwoKinds, for example, does deserve to have a podcast. So there is at least something you can turn to when it comes to having something that will explain the lore, the backstory, so on and so forth of the comic, and it allows the people that are less experienced in understanding the comic to just go onto your podcast and understand it there, and you'll be able to really have that kind of audience there and be able to help them understand more about TwoKinds as a whole. And I really like that in a person, how you're just there to help people when it comes to these kind of situations, in all honesty.
Yeah.
And because of that, you're showing your dedication and your support to people like that, and that is what's gotten you here today.
I do believe so as well. It's, as I said, it's been a journey. It's really been, and every step of the journey we are continuing to take right now is, to say it as it is, it's terrifying. It really is. Like, I have to step very careful now. I did one screw up in the past. which was the whole Natani drama in the 4th episode, where I accidentally called Natani a she. A lot of people was apparently really mad about that, but fuck it. I screwed up. That's my fault. That's my fault for not using the correct pronouns. I apologize for that, and it looked like everything was good again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really your fault. You didn't really, you might have missed up on the pronouns. You might, didn't even know the pronouns. But the best thing to really do in that situation is use the basic pronouns like them and they.
Yeah,
if you do
that's what I've been doing.
That's
what I've been doing afterwards. That's what I've been doing now.
Yeah, instead of calling a person a he or a she, you don't want to really judge their personality, gender, and their sexuality, and it's best to just use they and them just for the safe side.
Yeah.
And in all honesty,
that's just what I've been doing, really. Like, I've been doing everything I can to like ignore the fact that I screwed up back then, and just be like, okay, this never happened. I'm never gonna do it again. And
yeah, I mean, as the saying goes, you learn from your mistakes.
Exactly, I do that a lot.
Was a genuine mistake. It wasn't your fault that you made that mistake, and you making that mistake is actually a really good thing, because you learn from that mistake, knowing that full well that person doesn't want to be pronounced as that, so that you change that mistake and you change it into something right, so you don't make that mistake again.
But like, it was just odd, and it was kind of like funny to play with. Like, it's been funny to play with like all this almost power in a way, you could say. Like, like play with, okay, what can I do with the podcast? What will people like? What do people want? That kind of play with it. It's been odd. It's been really odd, but at the same time, I've loved it, because just seeing the reaction, something new. Yeah, it's something new we do, and just seeing the reaction of people, it's been absolutely awesome.
It gets you more of a grip on what people prefer than what they don't prefer, so you understand that these more people enjoy this rather than this, and I will do more of this to keep up the flow, make it more fun and enjoyable to watch rather than boring and forgetful. Yeah.
I mean, again, currently we have to like pump it a little up, but but that can always happen.
Time to pump it up.
Oh, frick off. We don't want to get copy strike, mate. We don't want to get copy claimed. I don't want ads. And actually, no. Never mind, you get ads on your video no matter what now.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just... It's been wild going through this, but like it's just been nice having a community by your side supporting you all the time.
Yeah, and when you try out new things, it just they're there to support you. Even to your you did mention you did make a Minecraft TwoKinds podcast server, did you not?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah. You still are developing that as well, which is another thing. It just shows that how you can literally multitask the living hell out of your podcast. You can make it more widespread to Discord, to Minecraft, which just shows that you can seriously juggle some big balls. Yeah. Because that is a feat that not a normal person can really conquer. How you can pump out original podcast episodes for TwoKinds whilst also managing the Discord server, whilst also managing the Minecraft server. It just shows your dedication to the podcast, how you want it more widespread. You want your community to enjoy different things to do whilst waiting for the next episode, such as vibing in the Discord server or even chilling out at the Minecraft servers and having a nice time. It just shows how you're so dedicated to it, to the fact you're actually providing this kind of stuff for your community.
But like, it's just... I hope to keep evolving the podcast like we currently are, but like, it's hard. It's definitely hard, but I keep working on it, and I just hope that from now on, it will only be better. And hopefully all the controversies, all the drama that has happened, that can be laid behind, and we can move on and actually improve as humans, because we all screw up, you know? Especially these days, where some people do the smallest things and people complain about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to beat around the bush here, but I don't really like the whole drama, people bringing it back up to beat a dead horse. It's just
that is so
really,
dumb. That is one
childish.
thing. That is one thing. Yeah, it's been hard dealing with that, but like I think it's been contained now, especially like with the new rules on the Discord. And I'm gonna read it out real quick. Keep personal arguments / drama in DMs. So that has basically fully like.
That's just basic.
Yeah. We have basically eliminated all the drama from that. And if anyone has a problem with me, and if anyone needs to solve anything with me or anyone else, do it in DMs.
Do it in DMs.
Yeah, exactly. It's just some of the drama that has happened has been absolutely ridiculous, and of course some of them have been my fault, which again I've been out apologizing for, but. Again, shit happens, really. We're all human.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that rule is going to allow less people to be involved, since the drama is not taking place in a public area. If you think of servers like a park, it's not like you're going to have that drama in the middle of the park, because you're going to involve more people into it. But if you keep it contained in, say, DMs, it's not going to get more people aware of it, and it keeps it all private. It keeps it all easily containable and dealable. It makes you being able to deal with it more privately and quickly, rather than have everyone involved that are friends with you. In per se. And that rule is going to prevent more drama leaking out, and that will also prevent more people coming back in the future trying to beat a dead horse just to pull you down when it comes to you trying to say sorry. You want to apologize, move on, and do what you want, and to not affect them or yourself in the process.
Now I have one thing to ask you. One thing. If you could do anything with the podcast, anything totally out of your mind, anything, what would you do to change the podcast? Anything you can change.
Change the
anything.
Podcast.
Even fantasy stuff, like anything.
Right. So, in all honesty, if I had control over the podcast and I was thinking of a way to improve it, to make it better, to make it more interesting, I would not just go over the TwoKinds sketches and the TwoKinds comic all together. I wouldn't just do those. I would do things like maybe fan stories. I would go over some of those, or fan sketches, or fan comics, or side comics of that main comic, to spice up a little bit, and maybe have a team of people that will be looking and scouring the internet for said content to reward people for making said content and thanking them for making it and putting it on the internet, whilst also reviewing it, reading it out to the audience and having a nice time. And that will allow people to also make more, so there would be more people submitting it and bringing it to your attention, so you would have more things to really have fun with on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much for participating. It's been really nice.
Yeah, it was nice as well. Nice talking to you, comrade, and I hope your podcast, keeps improving. I really like how it's going so far. So yeah, I love it.
I hope so too. No, thank you so much for participating. Right. See ya.
See ya. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much for participating, Midofox. Now it's your turn to ask me anything and talk about whatever you want on the podcast.
Want to talk about the new sketches? What about the new sketches? I mean the colored version of the new sketches?
Ah, yes. So a lot of people, including me, have been having a bit of a mental breakdown in the TwoKinds discussion chat at us.
You mean because of the horny?
Yes. It's too much. Everyone's just tired of it on our server. Everyone's tired of it.
Tom needs to go to horny jail.
Yeah.
Tom and Patreon needs to go to horny jail.
Patreon, man. It's because all the people who aren't horny, they lost all their money and they had to unsubscribe. And then all of a sudden, it was just the horny people left. And boom, now we just have this abomination of a month.
Yeah, Well, abominations. They're pretty average.
They're well
I mean,
done, but they're too horny.
I get it, but two kinds. I suppose. I mean, I don't. I guess it's kind of two kinds in general. I mean, two kinds is not two kinds without horny.
It is, but at some point it becomes too much. Especially when it's on a roll like it has been lately. I'm fine when it's like once in a while, but when it's been this many times in a row, which it has, it just kind of becomes, oh my god. Why?
Well, the last one wasn't that horny. I mean, the one with the pet hearing.
Yeah, the petting one is fine, and
I mean, it's half horny.
It does have some, but it's more wholesome than anything.
I mean, if you look at the Kedron side, it's wholesome because it's kind of like petting your dog.
Yeah.
Dog, and the other one you have potential horniness.
Yeah. But still.
Out of all
but still.
Here's a question: why the ears? Out of all of the
weirdest
sexual
parts of your body, it's the ears.
Yeah, but why? I get it then because they have big ears. Bastins or Bassidins? I never know. Bassidins.
Yeah.
And Bassidins, I know they have big ears, and I guess because they have big ears, probably that's why they're sexualized. But why they found so intimate? I mean, feet I can understand. That's a common fetish, but ears. Why the ears?
I don't know, man. Now this is turning too much into a sex talk now.
Well, let's talk about more lore.
Yeah.
Let's turn it into a lore thing. Do you think Bassidins are based around bunnies?
Well,
like
I
a lepromorph.
I think they have been inspired a bit, not directly based on them, but definitely some inspiration here and there.
Like for instance, they are kind of similar to lagomorph. Like rabbits, bunnies, leopards in general. But at the same time, they have this long tail, which is not typical of the.
It's definitely
lepromorph.
not typical. No. It's definitely not typical. No.
But they kind of like bunnies. I mean, there was a picture of Keith that kind of looked like a bunny. So this is what I think, and also because if you grab the bunny for the ears, you basically kind of like deactivating the bunny.
Yeah, in a way.
And so maybe that's why they feel this is an intimate part, because kind of like bunnies, if you touch them in the ear, it can be kind of dangerous, and so that's why they found it intimate.
Perhaps, yeah. There could be some.
Yeah, this is how you turn a sex talk into a into a lore one.
Two kind sex tips.
What about dragons, though?
Here's another question. No, I don't even want to get into this. I don't even want to get to this. Next topic. Next topic.
Next topic. It was lore.
Fine.
I'm talking about lore.
Fine.
What happened to the other dragons? Well, there's only Nora.
And Rennie.
What happened to Nora, and what happened to... Why there's all...
Well, that is a good question, yeah. I mean,
I know that the sketches...
I presume that they've been... most of them been killed in the past.
By whom? I mean...
Probably the humans.
But why? I mean, if humans consider Nora like some kind of deity or half deity,
well, they probably did once. Once they may have been a threat towards them.
I mean, there's a sketch. I know that sketches are technically not canon, but there's technically a sketch of young Nora interacting with a human.
I know.
So technically humans have interacted with dragons. So why would they, if they consider them as majestic creature, why would they wanted to kill them? I mean, we know why they wanted to kill the kings.
Maybe they didn't always think they were majestic creatures. Maybe once they thought they were dangerous creatures. Maybe once they thought they were dangerous creatures only after destruction. You know?
Why would dragons attack the humans though?
Maybe because they felt threatened.
That's a possibility, though. I don't know. It's kind of strange that only Nora and Rennie managed to survive, which also begs the question: if Nora and Rennie dies, that basically it. There are no more dragons, unless they pop up out of nowhere. Which, again, I want to talk about the real deal, Nibbly. Did you see Nibbly turning into a shadow dragon thing?
The shadow.
Yeah, the shadow.
Dun dun
Shadow
dun.
walks among us.
Amogus.
Oh no! Oh no! I said, oh no! I said the
Hey, no copyright strike! No
When
copyright strike,
the-
even though the thing is
when the
not
kid-
copyrighted.
when the nibble is sus.
Oh no! That's gonna be your
You
next
should
meme.
not
That's
have
gonna be your
mentioned
next.
memes.
That's
You should
gonna be
not
your
have
next
mentioned
meme.
memes.
That's gonna be your next meme, isn't it? When
I
Nibbly
already
is
did
sus.
that.
Oh.
I already did that.
Oh, you did. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
if
see.
you-
You did. You did.
Basically, I made it red, and then it closed the eyes, and it's actually nibble. Anyway, jokes aside, Among Us aside,
yeah.
what do you think Nibble is? It's actually a dragon or something even worse? Because it doesn't look like a dragon, looks like a shadow.
I'm unsure actually. I think at least
Similar to the treatise.
I
You notice
think-
that she's similar to the treatise
no,
somehow.
I think the idea of the whole she's a what is it called?
Dragon?
Yeah, that she's a dragon may be
Oh,
true, but I think there's some. She's definitely not a normal squirrel. That's pretty easy at this point.
Come on,
maybe,
this is
maybe,
kind of obvious. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to be American not to understand this subtlety. Come on.
Yeah.
Mido, that's patronizing.
That's gonna be cut out, mate.
Oh no.
I mean, like.
90% of the stream is gonna get out because
Yeah.
Mido is a place racist.
I mean, there's something that, like, she must be some creature, something close to dragon, maybe even more powerful. Who knows? But I think the Fury. I think the
only
Fury
one-
has some upbacking. So yeah, I think she could maybe be. a
Oh,
dragon.
yeah, speaking of Fury, it kind of reminds me of the God of War for Fury. Not God of War 4, God of War Ascension, which was the fourth one, technically. You ever heard of that game?
No,
it
I
was
never
a
played
prequel.
those.
It was a prequel to God of War 1, and basically it's Kratos against the Furies, and the Furies kind of look like nibbles. I mean, and it means they're both shadowing things. Look like shadows, if you know what I mean.
Well,
Speaking of...
I mean, now time is running out, and now it's my turn to ask you one question. If you could change one thing about the podcast, what would you change? Like anything imaginable, anything.
Anything imaginable? Nothing. Pretty satisfied about the podcasting. I will definitely put some background music.
I mean, we already have that.
Well, it doesn't. I didn't listen that much. A little bit higher, so I can actually listen to it.
Oh, okay.
But also
I'll
that
try
would be also that would be stupid because if you rise up the volume, you also cover the voices. So I don't know how much it's a useful length.
Yeah.
But anyway, outside of the music, it's pretty much okay, fine, standard stuff, standard podcast.
But no, I still want you to change anything imaginable, like anything. You have the power to change the podcast right now if you wanted to. What would you change?
Nothing. No, seriously, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm a satisfied customer. What do you want? What more do I need?
I don't know,
What more
man.
Maybe maybe I will propose more live streams. That was an interesting idea.
I could try that.
Of the live. That was an interesting idea. Maybe I don't know. One per month. 1 month instead of having.
I'll try to do another live stream at some point. I'll try that.
Because it's funny when you basically have multiple people interacting at the same time. At the same time, maybe showing in the life in the means that you show a picture. For instance, you come and says hello everybody, blah 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 blah. This is a picture. You put a picture of and the stuff, and you start to criticize or giving your opinion about the picture. And some people give their opinion at the moment to make the podcast a little bit more interactive. Instead of the traditional podcast. But at the same time, it could be a very hard thing to do because it's not easy to organize in live. So
it's not.
1 per month
at max
could be possible. I think.
I'm gonna try to make another live one, but I can't promise anything.
I mean, I am so satisfied for what you have. So even if you're not gonna be live, I'm fine with it. It's a nice, actually, pretty unbiased.
Yeah.
It's not for instance, I am one-sided, or I believe this or I believe that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much it's pretty much chill, very chill, very calm, relaxing.
All right. Well, thank you so
except
much.
when I come and says, sounded you like Americans. So when I go.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna break the podcast here. I'm not gonna be holding this too long. The video is already gonna be fucking long, so yes. I'll see you another time.
Already?
Yeah, man. Look. There's gonna be so many people. And no one knows this yet, but I've already invited like 7 people to do this.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed. I would like to say a word, but I don't know if you can say it on YouTube. So okay.
Maybe.
I'm impressed.
Like, it's really like, it's been hard organizing, but as I said, I want this episode 20 to be the absolute best ever. I want to be the longest, I want to be the best I've ever made, so I'm working hard for it.
And work you should, my friend. You should keep it this. It's pretty nice. And most importantly, you give publicity to TwoKinds.
Yeah.
In a actual good way, because outside of your podcast, I don't see much TwoKinds materials outside of this video when they put random cartoon voices to characters to see, I would like this character to be voiced by this guy here, or vice versa. Or some people reading the chapter of the comic, but reading like the first chapter, like the 2003 one.
Yeah. So
you're pretty much the most relevant, most recent, and most popular TwoKinds related thing at the time. Of course, I mean on YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube.
On YouTube. Tom definitely takes the cake.
And I don't know if you're doing also on Twitch.
No, not doing anything on Twitch. I'm just
streaming.
Okay, I'm streaming my own
it's
content
on YouTube.
There. I'm streaming my own content there.
Okay. Now, just saying that's a good thing, because you kind of put a little more words on the show. You let people actually kind of curious of seeing the stuff.
Yeah.
Of watching TwoKinds, because I think a lot of people will be initially skeptical because furries. But then you hear what kind of content actually there is, and people actually complain the fact that there's too much horniness.
Yeah.
and so
it's just it's just fan service, okay? Shush.
You have no, and some people don't even realize this. Every cactus, every female cactus, even who are made with that purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know why many people are why Tom is doing this to this cat. This it's not okay. Do you even read Two Kinds? do you even have any idea? Yeah, Two Kinds is basically 50% 50% drama. Actually, no, 60% orny, 30% drama, and 10% plot.
Exactly, man. That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, I don't want to waste you too much time. It was
yeah.
a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Keep going, man.
I'll see you another time, bud.
Like H3. Keep doing this, 18. I believe in you. Okay, bye.
Bye. So, Element, now it's your turn to have a little bit of an interview on me, and I'm gonna also be asking you a few questions. Not too many, but just a few.
Yes. Yeah.
After all this
finally,
time,
right?
After all this time, my own interview.
Fucking final. So how long have we been talking about this now? Seriously.
I think we started back in, it must have been around January, I think. January
must have been.
The start. So now, I mean,
early January.
Yeah, now you're getting like the true experience, because this is the 20th episode, which is also why it's been delayed so many times. I actually had to delay it yesterday as well. I didn't ping everyone because
you did.
Like I think people are getting tired of being pinged for delays, but like it's gonna be delayed until next week, and hopefully I should be able to finish it, because now I can finally start the editing on it. But as usual, as with the podcast,
yeah, it's just like Tom's pages; they never come up.
Yeah, exactly. I've become. Not only has Tom ignored every freaking like every time we upload a podcast, we finish recording a podcast. Oh yeah, there's a new page, and not only that, now we've become Tom with never uploading.
Yeah.
Schedule. What is this? Who needs this?
I know, right?
But still.
Oh man.
Now, first of all, I'm gonna ask you: do you have anything to ask me?
I almost know almost everything about you at this point.
That is true. We do speak a lot in voice chat. We do speak a lot in voice chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying
I don't know.
Oh, go on.
Let's see. How about this? I don't think you told me when you first found the comic itself.
Yes. So, finding the comic was a bit of a funny story. So, first, I think we're back at early August. A little before that. Little before early August. I think mid-June. But Joshi sends me this comic. Yo, dude, read this. I'm like, no. And then a week or two later, I'm like, I'm bored. And then I just say to him, hey, do you want to read the comic? And then he's like, yo, yeah, sure. And then we just began reading it, and like read it like 4 hours every day.
And that was you were fucking hooked.
And then Fenn was like, I want to do some content on it, some YouTube content. And then after a while, we spoke, and I googled, wait, is there a podcast about this? Yo, there's no podcast. And then we just decided to do it.
Yeah. And then you met me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gave you $300.
I mean, that is not the case. That is not the reason. That is not the reason we're friends, okay? That is not the reason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We were friends before that happened.
Way before that.
But other than that, I think that's the story about how I found TwoKinds. The thing is, I believe I knew TwoKinds before, because I was actually one of my friends who's actually also read the comic in real life. He actually suggested me TwoKinds at some point.
What?
I got cake.
Where did you get cake?
I don't know. There was cake.
I was literally talking to the air just now.
That's gonna be fun listening to in editing.
Might be able to put it in. Just for the fuck of it. Oh man.
Oh well. So quality podcast time, eating cake while podcasting.
Yes. ASMR.
Yeah. Gotta turn microphone up to 100% and begin doing ASMR.
Oh yes.
Oh well. Okay, so what I was saying. What was I saying?
We were talking about the discovery of the comic.
Ah, yes. So, what I was about to say, how did you discover the comic? Even though I know the story, some people out there may not know it.
So, yeah, some people don't know the story, so this is what happened. So, in about a few years back, I think, let's see, so it'll be 8 years now. My grandfather passed away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you know, being devastated by that sort of loss, Markiplier, I always watched him then. I still watch him now.
Mm-hmm.
And about 2 weeks into his passing, one of Tom's videos, he brings up some fan of his brings up his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you know, yeah, like my brother owns this comic called TwoKinds, so on and so forth. So I'm like, well, if I support Mark, I might as well see what's up with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, type it in, and on the first page that I saw, and this is one hell of a page, is the comic for April 23rd, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what that's when that's right after Keith finally loses Laura
Ah, yeah.
and starts developing more intimate feelings with Natalie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a very pinnacle moment in the comic.
Yeah, of course.
So looking at him like, you know, I ain't no like I'm still not a furry, but I was like,
You
well,
like the art, I guess.
whatever,
you could
this
say.
might be good. Yeah, I love the art, and I've always been an artsy guy, but we'll get into that later.
Mm.
So after reading through the full comic, you know, from start to finish, that was it. I was absolutely hooked on it. The story was phenomenal. The characters just were incredible.
Mm.
And oh man, that was, I've
Give me a
been
sec.
reading it
I'm
ever
gonna,
since.
I'm gonna change the voice chat to region over at you, so it's gonna be a little bit of bad connection because you've been cutting out just a bit.
Oh, okay.
It should be better now.
Okay, good.
It's on the
Yeah, maybe
US.
that-
It's on the US now, so it's just next to you.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
Move on
that's
again.
yeah. So that's how I discovered the comic. And funny thing is, I discovered the podcast
Hmm?
very soon after the passing of my 15-year-old cat. So it's always that's really weird. Like it's always
Huh.
seems like tragedy has to first, and then I'll discover something awesome.
Yeah, that sure is a little odd. Yeah.
It is a little odd. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna make you feel like shit first, but don't worry, something awesome's gonna happen to you.
Yeah. I guess you could put it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, ever since then, phew, I've been just addicted to it. And
Yeah.
just the story keeps on going, man.
The story is really awesome. And like, this, I mean, the story is really important in TwoKinds because it's a freaking comic. But like, at times I just think that Tom has overdone himself with the story.
Oh yeah.
But when you look back at it, that's also just kinda what makes it awesome in a sense, you know? Like it's what drives
Big
the
time.
comic. The fact that he put so much work and effort and soul and care into it, being careful with every step and movement he takes.
Oh yeah. He's a great storyteller, man. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure he could make a novel if he put his mind and heart into it.
Yeah,
But obviously, he likes to sketch more than write.
that is of course true. Yeah, and like I feel like you gotta respect the man for making the sketches, but like a lot of people make fun. Oh, he never makes the comic; he just does sketches. But like when you've made a comic for so long, at some point you're gonna get bored of it. At some point, it's gonna be like, ah, okay, I want to do something else. And Vinny's been doing that
Yeah.
for a long time, and again, we're just the fans
How
of him.
long,
We don't really control him. If he wants to do something,
Yeah.
then let him.
Yeah, he's been doing this for 18 years now,
Mm,
I think.
around, yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of insane. I mean, and that's
I
not
know.
that's not including the story writing as well. He may have started the
Yes.
story writing even before.
He probably did.
Mm-hmm. Don't think he's gonna like make story up as he goes. I don't think that's gonna be a possibility.
No, I don't think. Not with a comic like this. Man, this is a lot.
Mm. But like, is there any questions you have, or not questions, but like thoughts on how the community of the podcast has grown over the years?
Yeah, so the podcast, when it first came about, obviously it was quite small, and even when I
Yeah.
came in, it was still
It was still
relatively small.
Yeah. Recently,
But,
we've been having a bit of a boost.
Yeah, like we have way more members in here now than when I first came in. It's definitely gotten more recognized too among the community.
Mm-hmm.
Still not majorly talked about, obviously, but yeah, this podcast is definitely gonna keep on growing as long as the comic keeps on going.
I'll try to. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I mean, I've been going for like what, half a year, over half a year now.
Half a year now.
And like, I can definitely feel the fact that you begin being a little bored of it, so to say. But then you try something new, and it just feels all new again.
Oh yeah.
At least that's how I feel. Like you when you spice things up, like with the interviews that we did, that really spiced the fact up and like gave us a more good way to make content, so to say.
Oh yeah, big time. I think which one is the most popular? I think it was the neon.
The first one
that's-
we've ever done.
First one?
Yeah, that's the most popular we
Wow.
have. It's the cringe one.
Holy shit!
It's the cringe one.
The cringe one.
Yeah. But like that has 438 views. Then the Cookie Dragon interview has 300. The fanfic 264. So then some thoughts, and then number 4 is actually how is Reddit doing, which was a I believe that was a interview with Midofox.
Wow.
One of the biggest memers of TwoKinds, if not the biggest memer.
I think he is the biggest.
Yeah. Then we have some thoughts, chatting with Neon, and some thoughts on the future. And then we also had the one with chatting with Danodan and Terra, which is actually the longest episode we've ever made at 1 hour and 26 minutes.
I know.
I
That one
I
was
wanna
fun.
do those long podcasts again, but like it's just hard doing so when you don't have an interview.
Yeah.
Then it just becomes a little hard.
I mean, yeah, like for sure. I mean, if you got like, I don't know if there's any like theories on like Reddit or among the community, but I mean, if there is, oof.
I mean,
There has to
I'm a little on the Reddit at times because like I post the podcast on Reddit, so once in a while I get like trending on TwoKinds, and then I just usually look at them. But most of the time, it's sadly to say it as it is, it's literally just like the sketches that trends on that place. So you don't really
Yeah.
get anything special on there, which is kind of sad. But like, yeah. can't really do much, can we?
Yeah, Tom's hot shit.
I mean, I do know Tom is looking on the Reddit sometimes, so I do wonder, does he actually follow the podcast? Or just know it exists? I do wonder that at times.
Well, considering he never fucking talks, we might never know.
Yeah. I mean, he does actually. That's actually a lie. For example, Eamon, whatever. I don't know how to say it. Pronounce his name. Yeah.
Yaman, you pronounce it Yaman.
He actually talked with him. He
You're
for-
serious?
Yeah, because like he asked for he was making the Minecraft recreation, right? And he got DM'd the actual plot, the entire estate.
Oh, shit.
So he is active, and even though it may not seem like it, he does lurk in the shadows.
Oh, man.
I know it sounds creepy, but like,
it's just like all the way behind.
I mean, I know it sounds creepy that he like lurks in the shadows, but like, I mean, I would prefer that over from him not being active at all in the community.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd take that. Peanut in my mouth any day. Yeah, I got a peanut.
Yeah.
I had a peanut stuck in my throat. God damn it. Thank you. Thank you, Life, for ruining the podcast. Oh well. But yeah, it's sure is something to see the different things about the podcast, and it's always interesting. It's always interesting to see it, and I find it, in a sense, scary at times to work with the podcast and change it. I feel like, what if people don't like it? What if something? What if? You know, the usual what ifs. But like, usually people take this stuff very well, which is what I want, and I hope to see the community usually when I work with the stuff being like, yeah, you did well with this update, or yeah, you did well doing this instead, or this, or this, or this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always relieving. Oh my god, the
It
dude.
is.
I just checked Reddit because like I wanted to see the trending stuff. Photoshopping the gong droid in the background of random TwoKinds comics, day 299.
Oh my god.
He is still going.
He's still going.
He's still going, making gong droids.
Oh my fucking god.
I have no idea how he could do that.
It sounds a simple droid in Star Wars, and it is one of the most popular for some dumb reason.
Hmm.
All it says is gonk. That's all it says.
Gonk. Gong droid.
Gonk.
Yes. I mean, it's just funny that like people do that kind of stuff, to be quite fair with you. I find it funny.
Speaking of Star Wars, I have a little like suspicion that Tom with the character trace has gotten a little what's the word? Inspiration from the Star Wars character Anakin
Perhaps.
Skywalker.
Perhaps.
I don't know, cause can you see it?
Kinda at times.
Yeah, cause that's what I'm thinking. All right, so
I mean, to be
here's
fair,
my little
it
thing.
is known that Tom is taking a lot of inspiration, which is what every creator should do. So,
as they should.
you can't really say much. But like,
No.
I guess he could maybe have taken some inspiration from Star Wars. Or it could simply just be like a coincidence.
Yeah, it could be a coincidence, but it's like the thing is like both of their wives died in a
Bloody died.
tragic
Bloody
way, and both of them went down this dark path, literally leaving behind their former selves
Yeah.
to become this twisted form of what they are, you know.
We
with
got a
Anakin
new
became Darth
clickbait
Vader.
thumbnail. Star
Oh.
Wars and TwoKinds confirmed.
Confirmed. Oh, Disney would have asked for some dumb reason.
I betcha if like TwoKinds was mainstream, there would someone be doing that shit. I betcha.
Yep. Guarantee.
But like TwoKinds ain't mainstream, bro, so therefore it ain't gonna be happening. Doesn't have too big of a big enough audience to do so.
No. But speaking of yeah, that's just my little not really theory, but just like thing with
Thought,
Trace and yeah, just a little thought. But one thing I think, like, okay, this is where I think the story might actually go, like to its ending. I think there's gonna be like some sort of like a
Epic finale.
sequel to the I don't think it'll be called Two Kinds. Might be called something else because it'll be the same universe. Maybe. But what it might do is Trace might revert back to his dark twisted self, and Flora will not be with him anymore. She'll be somewhere else, not even in that weird what do you call it, like Lol, however the fuck you pronounce that name. I still can't pronounce it. And their child will be born, or maybe children, who knows.
You're literally just copying Star Wars now.
I'm not.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not. I
Yes,
swear to
you
God.
are.
I'm not.
This has become.
I think it's.
Stop
I think
it.
it's gonna
too
be
much Star Wars.
a single child. I swear. I'm pretty sure just a single child.
Two
Not twins
second
at
later.
all.
Two kind seconds later. Tom just DMs me, yo, there's gonna be 2 children, bro.
How awesome would that be? Anyways, so I think they'll like go into hiding, you know, with like Flora, Nathany, and probably Keith too. Maybe even on the Basset Islands actually. And she'll live among them until, I guess, her passing. They'll grow the
imagine this
child
right
among.
now. Imagine this right now. Like, if Tom is listening and be like, oh shit, my plan's discovered. Just imagine that. If you like, that would be hilarious, honestly. If that ever happened, that someone just like guessed what's gonna actually happen, and he's just sitting there, oh shit.
Yeah, he just DMs us like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You already said way too much.
You said too much. Where did you get this information from?
Oh man. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna. That's what I think is gonna happen. Like at the very end, there's gonna be a sequel, and you know, this child.
To be fair, I don't think he's
grow.
gonna make it. In my opinion, I don't think there's gonna be any sequel. I think when he's done with Two Kinds, he's done with it, and like when he's done with it, he's done with it, and I think he may move on to something else, but he's not gonna continue Two Kinds. That's what I think.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I have no idea. But yeah, I think Keith is gonna train the young one to basically defend himself. He's gonna find out, or she's gonna find out about, you know, their father, or his father, whatever. And basically, you know, the world or continent is gonna be in absolute turmoil, and it's gonna be like one of those classic awesome fantasy stories where the young child of the what do you call him, tyrant, must defeat his own father now to, you know, save the land. Yeah, but I think definitely I think Nora will have would have had like a massive part, because she'll be with like Trace, but like at the same time,
Yeah.
while she's trying to hold him back, not to like destroy everything, It's gonna be like, am I doing the right thing? Because I don't want to kill my great friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Well, like,
it's interesting.
Fury is always interesting, but like Fury is always interesting, but that's just how they are. Like they're theories. We don't know. We can't confirm anything. We can speculate and we can maybe be correct, but at the end of the day, it's up to Tom to show us the path that we need to go.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah, it's all up to him. I'm probably wrong, but nevertheless, I love theorizing about
The chance
shit
of
I
you
like.
being wrong is 99.99999%.
Oh, for sure.
There's too many possibilities on this earth for you to be correct, to be quite fair.
Yeah, there's too many, man.
Now, I'm gonna end off with a question for you. How has the community evolved more like not in the sense of growth, but evolved from when you joined to now? For example, voice chats, how people act, and the bond between people, etc.
Yeah, I mean, right then and there, I think this place has definitely made some phenomenal friendships. That is a for sure.
For sure. I'm so funny, I know.
Yeah, I think that's how it's the community really has changed. The podcast community has just made some phenomenal friendships, like, because if you didn't make them, like, I wouldn't have met these people until probably much later in the other TwoKinds discords.
A lot of the people
like,
on
it
this
just
server
wouldn't
aren't
happen.
even on the other Discord servers, so...
Yeah. So, yeah. Like, I would have met... I seriously would not have met some of these people if
I
it
mean,
didn't
some of the
exist.
friends I'm talking with, it's probably the same with me. Because, like, as another person on that I also interviewed put it in words as... He said, I am currently the most influential YouTuber with talking about TwoKinds, currently. Of course, we have the...
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. As we know, like, people read the comics. We also know that there's some people who re-uploads Tom's sketches, but, like, with actual original content, I'm probably one of the biggest right now. Which is kind of amazing in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure you are. Honestly, I think you're maybe not one of the first, but you're definitely one that's sparking something.
I think, from my knowledge, I'm the first to make a podcast about TwoKinds. Well, recently, someone had tried to copy our name.
I saw that.
Yeah, a Trace dude who's like... He explained Rule 34 stuff.
Yeah. So he's in the more not safe for work section.
And he doesn't even make podcasts yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, it actually, no, he does now. He does.
Oh, he does.
He does. I'm gonna see if I can get in contact with him. Just to ask into it and see what his plan is. Not being like, oh my god, I'm gonna copy strike you, dude. But like, generally wanting to see his opinion on everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna end off this interview because this is actually the longest we've had. All the others have been like 15 minutes.
Wait.
Oh.
We have one more thing to
What
talk
is that?
about. What do you think?
Oh boy. I'm not good at these questions.
Alright, I'll bring it up. So, at the start of the podcast, you heard me say $300.
Oh no.
You probably want. So, okay, let me talk to the listener for a second. If you're wondering what the hell is this dude talking about, basically, Comrade put out not really a Patreon, but like just like a site to just donate to the to
Yeah.
the podcast,
Yeah.
and he was just saying, whatever works, like $1 or $5, whatever. I didn't listen to him, and the first time I saw that, I dropped $100 on him.
I was
So I
freaking out,
paid
man. I
100.
was freaking out.
It
I
was like
DMing
12 in the morning for you. It was
Yeah,
like, wait, what?
And I was like DMing you, dude. Did you take an extra zero or something on it? Did you have a
you honestly?
Did you have a seizure while
Yeah.
typing this? Being like, I was just so fucking confused.
You honestly thought I misclicked.
Yeah,
You honestly thought it was a big mistake, and
Why
I
do you
was just like, oh,
I
here,
already told you
I'll,
I was literally about to refund you everything because I was like,
yeah,
no, I
because you
can't.
honestly thought I was like drunk or high or
Yeah.
something, because there's no way.
I
I
was
like, no, I'm giving it to you, man.
I was so confused and was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
And then literally the next day, just another 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then sure enough, that just added to
up for me,
300.
man. It was so fucked
Holy
up for me.
shit. And the both other Discord servers were going fucking nuts over me.
Mm.
Just saying, why did you just do that? It's like, oh, fucking no. I just did it because I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
same.
with that, you bought, like, the right stuff, too, but holy shit, I'll never forget that. A whole month and a half, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I was actually freaking
Man,
out.
that was just the talk.
I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and remember, I
fuck.
was not supposed to be up, so I almost woke my parents up.
Yeah,
I was
it was probably 2 in the morning for you,
It was
right?
like, it was around 12, as you just said before, like 12 in the morning. I was not supposed to be up, but I was being the kid that always doesn't listen to the family and just up anyways. And like,
Yeah.
I just see that, I'm like, huh?
Wait, what?
Did he misclick?
It's like, no, you misclick. Here,
Here,
let me refund you.
this can't
No.
be real. This can't be real. No, it's not real. Here you go. Here's the bag.
Fucked up. Here, let me refund you. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
just
no,
about to
keep it, I meant
refund
do
you,
that.
my friend realizes that you actually meant it. I was like, huh?
Wait, what the fuck?
Huh?
Oh man, holy shit.
That was still hilarious, although. But like,
Oh my god.
the money's being well spent. It's being, at the moment, kept on my PayPal, not being used, waiting for it to be used in the correct time, I guess you
Yeah.
could say.
Because right now you bought a bunch of stuff for the podcasts, and you're kind of just waiting on something more advanced to come out at this point.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
That's good. That's okay. That's exactly what you want.
right now, we're right now trying to get a new host when this video is done. Or when this video uploads, that is already done. But like, I think we're gonna be spending some of the money on, for this host, a new microphone for them.
Okay.
Because we do want the best quality possible. Probably the same microphone that I have, because, to be quite fair, it is really good. And it's really good bang for the buck.
It is good. Yeah, mine's shit.
I mean, I did pay this one for myself, so technically speaking, if I was really greedy, I could, like, pay this off with the money I got, but I've chosen not to. I've chosen to use my own money on it, and I'm gonna keep going as I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I'm doing. And I don't do it for the money. Of course, money is always a factor that can be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice having some money from doing this. Oh, it's gonna be nice and blah blah blah. But like, it's never the reason that I'm doing this.
Oh yeah.
Of course, again, as I said, it's a motivation, definitely. But it's not the main
Definitely motivation.
driving cause from it.
Yeah, with me, it's unpredictable what might happen.
Okay, I'm gonna end it now before we begin spinning out and doing a 40-minute instead of a. We're already like over half an hour, so let's end it here. Thank you so much
Okay,
for.
you want to
Oh.
say your socials or?
It's fine. I'm gonna do that on my own at the end of the podcast here, since this is gonna be clipped in together with many others.
All right.
So
Great.
yeah, thank you so much for participating. Thank you for coming, and thank you for supporting the podcast.
Absolutely.
You want to say anything? Maybe say your socials yourself or something.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter. Exactly how it's spelled. Xaveour_gaming, or just Xaveour Gaming on Twitter. You can follow me there. I also have an Instagram, same name.
You cut
you
out,
can
but
find
just
me.
you cut out, but just check the description. I'm gonna be adding all people's socials.
Yeah, you can also check the description. Yeah, I have a Twitch. I stream a lot, so you can follow me there. Have fun. I always play games.
Oh, the children are coming. I can
And,
hear them.
that's about
Let's
it.
finish up.
Oh. End it.
Ah! Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for participating. I'll see you another time.
See ya.
So, Kees, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. Now, it took a little while to get this planned out. I think a little bit over a week, but now we're here finally.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. So far, there's only been, I think, you're gonna be the sixth person. I can't speak today, as you also heard when we failed the recording before, but that doesn't matter. Right now, the important part is getting this interview here, because it's something special. It's the 20th episode. Like, as you've seen probably, I'm unsure if you've seen it, but like, I've delayed it for the second time this time around, this podcast. Yeah,
Wow.
I've had to delay it quite a bit because I wanted it to be the absolute best podcast I've ever made, and I also wanted it to be like the longest I've ever made.
Wow.
So I've been delaying it a little bit, but who cares?
You
We need a good
should, get to
podcast.
it. Third time's a charm.
Exactly. I mean, let's just hope I don't have to delay it again.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
Yeah.
not this time.
Now, shoot, man, like, you can ask me any question, you can say anything about the community, you can say what has happened, what you've seen, all that kind of stuff.
So, I'm sure you've probably been asked this before, but what are your thoughts on TwoKinds and the whole comic itself? I'm sure you've already gone over this, but
Well, I have a lot of thoughts about TwoKinds, and it's definitely not the best thing I've ever read, but it does sure come close. In a sense, TwoKinds is a way to escape the real world and escape into the fantasy world that is called TwoKinds, which I really love, and I love the community around it as well. There's a reason I've been sticking around for so long, after all. I also love the fact that, like, the story keeps being so twisted in a sense, because we went from literally, it was supposed to end at the Basildon Islands, and now we're like all the way where we are now. And it just it feels awesome to like see the development of the art. Like, now when I read it, I did not notice actually like how it changed until I looked back at the first page and just said, "Yo, what the hell happened here?"
yeah, I can feel that. I think I probably did the same
Yeah, like
when I first started reading.
you can definitely see how much Tom has improved his art, and like it's awesome to see that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely an inspirational thing to look at.
But other than that, I think that's kind of my thoughts about TwoKinds. I don't have too many thoughts about it, but it's definitely something that is very interesting to learn about and keep looking into, because like, even though I've been here for like what, 8 months soon, I still find new things about TwoKinds and I keep learning.
Oh yeah, I've been reading the comic since 2016, and yeah, I'm still a lot of things that are going by that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So
It's a rabbit hole that never ends, I guess you could say.
yeah, definitely.
That again, that also kind of just shows an escape of a sense, you know?
And there's a whole lot more that's added, especially once you get into all the whole Discord server side of things.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of drama about the Discord part, but like,
Oh yeah.
oh well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
I've heard my fair share of things that have gone down. So
I'm literally like, I'm water. I'm in between everything. I'm inside almost everything except the very toxic parts of the servers.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty much the same.
I've had my fair share of experiences there as well. Other than that, I think I'm basically every TwoKinds server there is at this point. Or at least major,
Yeah. There's a couple dead ones that I left recently because, well, they're dead. So
I have a few dead ones I'm also in, but like, I'm just still there because I advertise my podcasts there. I'm not even kidding. Like every time I joined the Discord server with TwoKinds, I just began advertising it there, putting it like TwoKinds discussion. I'm just gonna put this here.
that's understandable.
It's TwoKinds related. It's fine. But
Free
like,
plugs.
yeah, I mean, for sure it's a little bit sketchy, but like, to be fair, it's TwoKinds, and second of all, a lot of people do enjoy it, and I know for in fact some of the viewers we have don't even join this Discord server, and for example, it's just on the normal Discord, not the normal, but like the TwoKinds Discord server, and because we posted there, they just keep watching it from there. I know that for a fact, because I know there's a fair share of people who are like that.
I guess that's just easy for them.
And like, again, I'm fine with that.
As long as they're viewing it, you know.
Yeah. I have no problem with basically I have no problem with like any people on how they watch the podcast or like their opinion on it. I love good criticism, but there's a few things that basically just gave the worst criticism I've ever seen, just being like this. Yo, it's cringe.
Oh yeah. I bet. Not very constructive. It's just kind of like.
I'm like,
great.
I'm sorry to hear that, but if you do not enjoy the podcast, just don't watch it.
That's your own time that you're wasting yourself. So.
Yeah, I'm just. It's you know. It's a how can you say it? It's a mess that never ends. And I guess like I enjoy constructive criticism because I actually take it to heart. I actually try to learn from it, unlike a lot of people. I actually have a notepad over here where I have like, I think 10 lines of pure constructive criticism that I read through at times when I edit the podcast or about to make a podcast. I usually read through these and like think to myself, okay, how can I use this criticism and how can I put it in work into my podcast and make it better?
It's actually pretty smart. It's probably something I should do myself. Take more notes, especially with my art. I should probably do stuff like that.
I mean, I try at least myself to be as humble as possible with the podcast. Of course, I actually mentioned this before, but like things have gone to my head before, and I admit that. I admit that openly because I think we're all human. We all make mistakes, and we all can do this. But in reality, I'm just a regular guy sitting behind a screen making a podcast. And yes, people may know me more than maybe the regular user of a Discord on TwoKinds podcast, or not podcast, but like just the TwoKinds community. Maybe I am a little bit more known than the average user would be, but like it's not because I am an immortal being or anything like that. I'm simply just a normal person that's a little bit more known. And I think it was one time where some person, I didn't understand this person at all, but like I was acting normal. I didn't really say anything. They just went into my DMs and made of like a whole essay about how I was acting odd and how I was being what is it called? Like a dickhead, basically. That was kind of that was kind of funny,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, it was
Just
like
hit them with the okay, buddy.
no, I just simply said to him, if you next time if you write an essay like this, please do give me some constructive criticism on how I could maybe act better in your eyes, and just being like really calm about it. I think I was sitting in a voice chat when it happened. I was laughing my ass off. I could not read that thing, and I was crying. I was actually crying. I know it seems like that's like a really bad thing to do, but like this dude took it to such an extent that I don't even think if you tried to take him serious, you could take him serious. I don't think that would be possible.
Everyone else in the voice chat just sitting there like, what the hell's wrong with him?
Yeah. I mean, we also had other fair share experiences here on the Discord server, such as the other day with a person joining. Very, very known in the community, also known as the guy that, you know, thinks that he's basically in the TwoKinds lore.
You're talking
Sergeant Trevor.
Yeah, Trevi.
He joined
boy.
the server the other day. I was like, and when I found out who he was, I was like, oh fuck.
I've
Like I'm telling you, our admin room just went nuts. It went nuts. Like one of the admins just texted code fucking red.
Yeah, we have our fair share of diving into that into him over on the Neon server on Neon server. So that was an interesting time when he joined that server. So
yeah, I have given up on like understanding the person, man. Like I have given up. I get the fact that like you make good stuff and all that, and I get the fact that you wanna make a good that you wanna make like a good RP, not RP, but lore for your favorite comic, but like dude, I'm gonna be fair with you, I read through it, it sucked.
it's one of those, if you're gonna
like the
it's
grammar
hard to,
like I'm not English at all. My grammar sucks, but even I could see that grammar was off.
it's kind of hard to do your own part of a lore if it's like if you're gonna add your own lore to something, it's kind of hard to add it to something that already exists, because there's already a big enough community around TwoKinds. Well, if you start adding things and not everyone agrees with it, you know,
I mean,
it's gonna be
like,
kind of hard.
That is, for example, where like that's where it's hard to do stuff like, for example, theories. That is a good example. You can see on one of my other interviews, I'm not gonna say the person because I want to keep that a secret, but the person began doing theories, and I was like, yeah, I mean, you could be true, you could be right, but you could also be wrong. But again, it's just simply your opinion on this, so that is fine, as long as you don't like take it to an extent and do it as some other people have done, and literally just begin pushing it into being, yes, this is canon now. Then I'm cool with it.
It's only canon if the whoever's doing it, creator, whoever is sort of running it, says it is. So
yeah, as long as the creator of the things is fine with it, like I'm cool with it. But like until, nah, fam, I ain't happening. It's just like, again, as I said, as long as the creator's cool with everything, it's fine. Just please do not take it to an extent that it should not be taken to. I know a lot of people have been doing that, and now this person isn't the only one that has done this. So
I've heard of others.
yeah. there's been quite a few, but like I guess this is just something that happens when you make this kind of comic. People are gonna be like this, but yeah.
Yeah. So
I like how this is supposed to be about you and talking, and then it turned into this. How did it turn into this?
oh man. Well, I mean, we could bring it back to me. Because I was
Yeah.
That's,
Your turn again.
Something that I'm afraid of because I'm trying to do some comic stuff myself and.
Oh, gotta notify me about that.
I will. It's just something that I'm afraid it's most likely gonna happen. You really can't control the internet, so I don't want to like toot my own horn type of thing. But it's one of those that I know it's gonna happen, but I don't want it to happen. So it's sometimes I wish the internet didn't do things that it does. But
yeah,
what can you do?
I mean, as I said before to you, like sometimes you gotta jump into it. Like I did. Actually, no, I didn't mention that to you. But like, I'm still afraid of uploading a podcast. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm still afraid of it, and I think most people are gonna be even after so long. And I think
understandable.
I don't think it's gonna change. I think it's always gonna be like this. That it's gonna be hard to accept the fact that a lot of things just is scary. And I think it's gonna be even more scary when it's something we hold close.
Yeah.
I think that's where it becomes very scary for us, because as you know, like, good example, you're gonna be holding the things such as your comic very, 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 very close.
Yeah.
And this is where it becomes scary to actually do this kind of stuff. Because if you actually begin sharing stuff you have kind to yourself, then you're gonna begin feeling that, oh, what if I get judged for this? Oh, what if, and oh, what if, and what if, and what if, and what if?
Oh yeah.
And
I have that because I've got on my Instagram the Instagram was like the one place where like all my friends that I knew from school and all that's where they all followed me, and I at the beginning of last year I started uploading the art I was doing, and well, I'm not sure what a lot of their thoughts were, but I got a couple questions, but thankfully they're all fine with it. But yeah, it was one of those. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's go with it. Let's do it. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's definitely one of those things, but as I said, you sometimes just gotta jump out and jump into it. But yeah. And I did that with this podcast, and look at it now. I've been jumping into stuff all the time, and it's nice now, and everything has it has definitely calmed down in a sense.
I can imagine there's going back to that, like the stress and all that. I can imagine, on top of like wondering if people think it's good or all that, is also just general YouTube business, like the whole algorithm situation, trying to get views, people to follow, and kind of keep that up so you can get out there more.
Yeah. Well, like it's just You gotta take the courage. Sure.
Yeah.
That's how I can put it. And
of course,
as I said before, I'm always afraid of putting out a podcast. I still am, because I know there's gonna be that person being like, "You did not do well enough," and I'm scared of the fan base that I've been beginning to build. It's gonna at some point just say you're not doing well enough.
Well, that's understandable. Understandable completely.
And
I think that's a lot of creators' fears.
Yeah. That is where I get very, very scared in a sense. And I've spent a long time now. I can officially say that now. I spent a long time working on this podcast. I've been going through literally everything from a fucking Minecraft server to a pod. Like, I've gone to such extents, man. And that is where it just feels odd to me, or not odd specifically, but like, it's scary. It's definitely scary. I can't really say anything else, to be quite fair.
And it's also, I'm assuming you're not making any money off of this, so that's
Oh
another
no!
thing.
I mean, we've had donations. We've had donations, but we don't make money off, for example, YouTube.
That's so you have like no, like you don't really have an income from this either, so
Nah.
just kind of doing this for.
I mean,
this for fun.
Element has been doing a little bit of funding, so to say. Been sending 300 Canadian dollars over.
Good little pay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't spent a single dollar yet. I haven't, and we've had it for so long.
Write off as business expenses or whatever if you use it.
No, I'm just waiting for something to use it on.
Maybe editing software or something. I don't know.
Well, we do have Sony Vegas already,
Mm.
so there's not really a need for an editing software. But like, I mean, he did. I mean, as I said before, like this microphone that I bought, for example, it's been I've paid almost 1,000 Danish crowns, which is in dollars. Give me a second. $160. $160. That's what I've paid for the this microphone arm and everything. Of my own money. Of my own money.
That's. I'm trying to think how much I spent for mine. I think it's probably around 200 total for the whole $200 US for the total setup, but overall it's probably my favorite microphone, so I'd definitely get it again. What kind of microphone do you have?
I have the Rode USB Mini.
I've got the Audio Technica AT2020 for microphones. So.
Ah, that one, yeah. I was recommended it, but my problem with it was, as I can also hear from you, your voice is clear, but there's a lot of echo.
Yeah, I think it's probably...
My suggestion, if you get a microphone arm, that's my suggestion, right? And then you're going to sound and like put it down to 60%, because like now I'm gonna cut this part out of the video because this is gonna be loud. But like if I put mine to 100% again, right? Was it that loud?
Oh, it was
Oh,
loud,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't know it would be that loud. But that's why I put it on 60%. Anyways, moving on from microphones.
Moving on.
Yeah. So I have one question for you. And how have the community evolved since you joined? Now, again, I know you haven't been interacting a lot with it, but I know you've been posting art and getting feedback and such and such.
Overall, at least with my experience with the community, it's been pretty decent. Obviously you have the interesting side of the community. And that's always interesting to look at every once in a while, but overall I'd say it's pretty good. I enjoy it. It's probably one of the better communities I've been in. Everyone seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
Obviously I haven't been the...
I mean, you've been in I think you were in voice chat like a whole day at some point.
I probably was.
Yeah, you were playing VR. You were playing VR with your Valve Index.
Yeah.
It was like in
Probably.
October, I think.
Probably. It was probably, yeah.
So it's a while ago now, but like you still did it, so I remember that. You're playing that. You're playing that hot dog sausage thing.
Oh yeah, the hot dogs, horses, and hand grenades. It's a good game. Anyone who's listening and wants a good VR.
Get it on Steam.
Every VR shooter will be ruined for you after you play it because it's that good. But what was I gonna say? Oh, the community. Overall though, it's been pretty decent. I mean, I haven't been the smooth brains, as some would say, in the community, so that sort of helps. But yeah, everyone's been pretty nice, and a lot of interesting things I've seen throughout my time here. So
that's nice to hear, at least. But like, I mean, yeah, I actually can't really say much more than that, to be quite fair with you. Like, I'm just happy to hear people like you and other people just enjoying the community, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, it's what I use my personal life on. I could be doing literally anything else, but like, I chose to do this.
Mm-hmm. Met a lot of a lot of good people I've met. A lot of artists I've met that have a good time with, and a lot of people they know that aren't even in the community that I've met. So, which is connection stuff for me. So,
I mean, I have a lot of connections with people, of like the people I know at this point. Like,
Mhm.
I have some of my best friends online at this point now. I speak with people online more than I speak with people in real life, and it may sound like a bad thing, but like, you see, I've totally isolated myself with COVID. Totally isolated myself. I barely walk outside, man.
Sees the sun, you're like.
Yeah, it's
"Oh,
the
next
only
one,
times I go outside is like for exercise. That's the only time. Or maybe buying stuff in the store, but like other than that, there's none.
It's sort of the same for me. Oh, sort of the same. I got a job recently that allows me to get out finally.
I mean,
so
I do
that
have a job
helps.
myself as well, but the thing is, I do not have like, it's different whenever you have work here for me, because I work at a climbing park, you see.
Okay.
So it's basically like, hey, we need you this and this day. Can you come here? And you just say yeah or no. And then you
Okay.
get then I get paid around. I'm gonna convert this. I get paid $11.20 per hour.
That's not terrible.
No, and like, remember, I'm like 15, so
Yeah, that's well, I mean, for your age, it's probably actually pretty good.
I got this job as 14 years old, actually. So yeah, this whole winter, and I have not been at my job for so long at this point, so I need to get back there and begin working again, which is going to be really nice, but also really terrible because the podcast is going to suffer. But other than that, it's fine, really. I can use the money. And I can use it and put it into the podcast. And recently, I've been thinking about getting, since we've been looking for a new host, getting like the host a new microphone and also like a webcam, you know? So we can all begin using webcams and try to like do the podcast differently, because I know a lot of people usually want to watch someone speaking instead of like just hearing it. And I know we're on Spotify, and I also know we're on like Google Podcast or whatever it's called, but like our main source of people watching is YouTube. So we gotta,
get some visuals going.
exactly. Not right now. It's like right now it's literally just like a moving thing. So.
Just do it like a Joe Rogan type thing.
Oh God, yeah. Let's just not do an Elon Musk and smoke weed live. Then it's fine.
Two Kinds podcast, but everyone gets stoned.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be that's gonna be 100th episode. That is, for legal reasons, that's a joke, okay?
Oh man.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was really nice having you.
Thank you for having me on.
I know. We extended a little bit of what I promised you with the 10-minute. It's only gonna take 10 minutes, but like,
It's okay.
we were having a good conversation.
It was a good conversation.
Yeah. I think this podcast is almost gonna be 2 hours long, man. It's gonna be a hellhole to edit this.
Oh boy.
My sanity listening to my own voice, like my sanity is gonna go so insane that I don't know.
Oh man, I can understand that.
Yeah.
One,
Like over the time I've become fine with my own voice, but like in the past it's been horrible editing.
I took a sound class last semester. It was right that semester that was like right at the beginning of COVID. So we had like that first half where everyone was in person, and it was that was like one of the first things that our sound teacher had said was that you're at first you're gonna hate the sound of your voice, but as you do more editing, you'll just kind of tune it out. So, and he was right. I mean,
I've begun singing recently, actually. I don't know why,
that
but like
been going?
I've been enjoying that, and like I'm beginning to understand that because like people always say that I do very well, so I've just kind of begun understanding. Oh, I may actually be alright at singing, you know. But like, thank you so much for coming on, man. Like, it's been amazing, and yeah, we sure did have a good conversation. I can tell you that.
I'll try not to take up too much more of your time here.
I have lots of time. Actually, that's a lie. I only have like 15 minutes left, but who cares?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Your socials will be in the description.
Cool.
So anyone
Thank you
who
for
wants
that.
to see Kees, all their good art, just go down there and check it out. He also does commissions, but I don't know when this is gonna come out, if it's opened or whatever it is, but at some point it may be.
You should follow if you want to keep up to date with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. Let's move on to the next person. So, Nathan. Now it's your turn for the interview, and also you're gonna be the last person I am interviewing. So, you better round this off good.
I'll try my best.
I mean, you've done a great job as an admin on the server, which is actually why I wanted you on here.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to get you on due to the fact that you have seen the community in another sense than the normal person may have, or I may have. And I want to get some more inside of like when you try to manage this community in another sense. I know there's always difficulties. I make some myself, and I'll gladly admit that any day. And I have also admitted many times that I've done some dumb stuff. But we're all human, and we can all mess up.
Yeah, I guess it's like not exactly frantic. If I were to assign one word to it, it's very calm because the podcast server is, well, we're like an extremely close knit like group of people. Like you always have like the regulars that pop up.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes someone posts a meme that's a little bit out of line. It's like
that always happens on any server.
Yeah, it's mainly just maintenance. Occasionally there will be like flare-ups where someone does something they shouldn't, and I try to solve it as diplomatically as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I mostly leave people to their devices.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you've definitely seen the community grow. I think, you must have been like all the way back in time. You joined all the way back.
I think I joined around
Give me a second.
August or September, I believe.
I am going to look for it real quick here. So, we posted that we wanted mods.
Yeah, when did I join the
We
server,
posted
though?
that we want a admin spot on the 28th of September. So that's the minimum.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when I joined.
I'll check that out real quick, actually. So, from user, Nathan, and old. Okay, 12th of September. 12th of September. 12th of September. It's the oldest you gave us.
That's about 7 months. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, how long I seriously, I always forget how long the podcast have been running at this point, honestly speaking. It feels like nothing, but it's bloody 8 months.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to like think about.
And 7 months ago, I did my face reveal. The very epic face reveal.
Pulled the trigger a little early on that one, don't you?
I did, but I mean, I don't really mind people seeing my face. So that was fine with me, but
Yeah,
like
I get it. I probably take the opposite mentality. You don't need to see my face, so I don't do it.
yeah. I mean, personally speaking, I don't really mind with like that stuff, but in general, it's been odd, and it's been in a sense a little hard to like manage all the podcast stuff, but with the help from the admin team and the staff team in general, it's definitely been easier, and we've definitely come to some very good stuff together.
Yeah, I would agree. We've been uploading podcasts to Spotify. I've been a little well, I wouldn't say negligent, but I've been a little lacking with that to get out pretty soon.
Yeah.
School's been a little rough. I feel like that's everyone's excuse. Oh,
It
cool.
is,
All right,
like,
you
I
passed.
mean, look, I'm going to school again here next week. I thought it was today, though, so that's a little nice, but, like, I'm going to school again now in real life, so podcasting and doing this kind of stuff, it's going to be a little bit harder for us at this point, to be quite fair with you.
Yeah, and that's why you bring on more people, like
Yeah.
just
The
divide
more-
the work up.
In a sense, basically, if I just need to, like, if the people all take a role, let's say the new we're gonna makes the script, and the other one does that, and the preparation, and blah blah blah, then we can, like, split it up, and then I can, for example, do the editing. And I don't mind doing the editing as long as I don't do all the others, because even though you may just think, oh, well, it's just find the topics and go on, even though it's just that, sometimes it can take
Yeah,
half
it's a
an
lot
hour.
of time.
Exactly, and, like, the preparation, for example, the interviews, there's a reason that I stopped doing those here because of, again, the break part with the 2 weeks, that I need to stop doing. I need to go back into the once every week, but the reason
No,
that
I think the bi-weekly might work. Do it.
But, like, because of that, like, the stress in general, I've been doing the interviews have been basically put on hold until now, I guess. But, like, it's been hard because you gotta manage the stuff, and usually...
Yeah, you got to coordinate with everyone. Some are coordinating across time zones.
Exactly.
I mean,
and
you've been doing very good with that.
And the problem is, usually, when I can speak with the interviewer, who usually is American, is when I'm in school. And recently, my school have blocked Discord on their laptops. So I am unable to do that. So I gotta see if I can find a way through that, yeah. I know I'm supposed to do school when I'm in school, but, like, come on. If I'm done with the thing, what am I supposed to do? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the teacher says, like, school isn't a place for sleeping, and you just reply with, home isn't a place for work.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm gonna pull that one next time.
Go right ahead, I'll send it to you.
Like, managing a podcast, again, definitely the whole part with help from the staff team has definitely been really, really helpful, but, like, managing the podcast and mostly doing it alone has been quite hard, especially because all the interviews, all of them we've had, either I have on contact or I have been contact, and I'm gonna bet you each of these interviews have been over 2 hours of preparation, at least, at the very least.
I mean, that's a lot of time.
Exactly. I think they're probably the ones that take the longest, but they take, like, almost 5 to 7 hours to make each.
Oof.
Yeah, and then you maybe think, oh, well, that's just do it in one row. But for someone who has, like me, who has exams next year, even though I do a lot of
you gotta
gaming,
break it
I mean,
up.
I agree. I should probably focus more on school than I do, but still, I do have to prioritize school as well, and the only thing keeping my mental health up is gaming, so...
I think it's about dividing up your time properly.
Exactly.
I use something called the Pomodori method, which is basically set a timer for 25 minutes, work straight for 25 minutes, and then you rotate off for 5 minutes, and that's your break time.
I mean, with editing, I have found as I've said before in the admin chat, I have recently found a way of, like, minimizing the work, meanwhile keeping the
Output.
yeah, keeping
You've streamlined it.
Oh yeah, I streamed once, yeah. That was actually YouTube literally just fucking me up. Like, I had pressed upload, and it said done, Then I get home to my dad because my parents are divorced. So I go there, and all of a sudden it said upload failed.
Yeah, that's Dobie in your computer, man. Dobie the little jank devil.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh God. And I could not, and I'm repeating, I could not make a podcast in one day. I could not do that. So I looked myself in the mirror and just said, I'm gonna stream this.
I mean, it was a very good like shotgun play. You just made the call, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, like people seem to enjoy it. At least,
I mean, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, I know some people, or at least the podcast did not get as many views as it's used to, but I mean, for the few people that I know did tune in and I heard feedback from, they all said the same. It definitely felt different, and it felt kind of different in a good way, in a good sense.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't exactly edit and.
Plus, more interaction with the community in a sense. I think.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want more of. Want to interact more, whether that's like leaving comments, videos, or suggesting topics. Really love to.
You cut out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely love to see the community, engage more with the podcast than just like watching videos. Even just leaving a comment that's just like, hey, good video, or I enjoyed this bit, or I wasn't really satisfied with that. And even negative feedback is
as long as it's constructive criticism, I can take any feedback.
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna have haters.
There'll always be that, and
that's how
I actually discussed that with, I can't remember who it was at this point. I've been filming like 7 of these interviews. It's hard like managing at this point, okay? But like,
yeah, I don't blame you there.
Yeah, I talked with someone, and like, there's been a lot of people just like going into my DMs, yo, dude, your podcast's so cringe, and just being like that, and absolutely no good criticism. I usually just hit them.
Embrace the cringe. You know what? You know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes you just gotta embrace the cringe. You gotta accept that.
I mean, like, I've just been hitting like the people who do that. I've been hitting with if you want the podcast to be better, please do give me some feedback so I can make it better button. Every time at this point, I'm tired of it. Like giving an actual response.
Yeah, it's
I have a copy paste on my bloody freaking desktop at this point because I'm too tired to make an entire essay every time.
Yeah, I think that's the most flipping it on them is just say, go ahead, tell me, what can I do better?
Yeah, and usually just say it's cringe. They just usually say that. But the thing is, I gotta agree. The first podcast we did were a little cringe.
Yeah, that's always how it is. You always look towards your.
I mean,
yourself,
again,
whether that be
it
a
was
week
our
ago or a
first
month ago, you're like,
podcast. It was our first podcast. I mean, like, come on, it was our first podcast.
Yeah, I mean, stumbling around in the dark. That's how it is.
And how many views do we have today? We have we have 3,750. Ooh. That's quite a lot, to be quite fair with you.
It's a big number. I mean, like, just trying to picture 1,000 people in a room. It's just, I can't.
I can't do that.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
it's very humbling to have like that many people.
I cannot imagine that kind of stuff, to be quite fair with you. It's almost too hard to do that. It feels like almost out of my mind to imagine how many people have watched this kind of stuff, like our videos.
Yeah.
It feels. How can you say it?
Overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming. That's a good word for it. Also humble, of course, that the fact that people want to watch this kind of stuff. And again, I gladly admit to me fucking up a lot. Of course, I'd admit to that, and I admit to the fact that I screw up, and I
Yeah,
admit
you're
to the
only
fact that
human.
I need to change and maybe be more professional at some places. But I am working as good as I can on this kind of stuff. It takes time, and it's
Yeah,
all
I think that's really the best thing you can do is just want to change, want to
mm,
improve. You will start. It's the same way with art.
yeah, it's yeah. I gotta agree there. It is the same there.
It's like the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not gonna
Mm.
suddenly create an amazing, flawless creation that suddenly blows up and everyone.
Yeah, no
It's a
one's
very
gonna.
gradual process of trial and error, learning what works,
It
doesn't.
it takes time. It takes time, and I can definitely feel that. But as
You're
slow,
getting there.
exactly, I'm getting there, and it may just be. I guess it's just hard, but like, we just gotta pull through. I guess we just gotta pull through, and
Just gotta keep on trucking.
exactly, we gotta keep going, and I'm personally trying to do all I can to keep going and do my best and never give up on this kind of stuff. But lately, I'm gonna be honest, this lately been doubts for me, and this is not in a bad sense, but like at some point, doing the same and same is gonna get boring, and not to say the podcast has become boring because I love doing it, but it's definitely becoming to be a thing that feels like a burden at times.
Like a chore.
Exactly. It's becoming to feel like that, which is why I hate schedules. I hate schedules because of that exact thing. If I could just make a part, like, that's why I love making content on my other channel, because, like, I can do it whenever the fuck I want. Like, there's no...
There's no obligation.
Exactly.
No one's gonna message you and be like, "Where's the new video?"
Exactly. But the podcast has been different with that, but I'm finding ways to get around that and feel different, and so far it feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all about like
It definitely is.
yeah, it's managing like workload at a time. Like if you're working for 3 hours at a time on it, you're probably not going to want to do it anymore. And that's really what burnout is if you start doing something that you like too much and you just start getting sick of it and you don't want to do it anymore. Sometimes that goes away within a week, and other times that might take much longer to disappear. So it's all about like everything. It's a balance.
It definitely is, but lately, again, I've been trying my best to keep this up, but this kind of quote-unquote break, even though I've been working more than usual actually with the podcast, it's been quite nice, and it's felt a little relaxing.
Taking a break
in
from
a
my
sense.
vacation.
I mean, like, I was like, when the fuck can I get home from my vacation so I can begin making this podcast? Like, I was on vacation just wanting to get home so I could make my podcast.
Yeah, and I mean that shows that you really enjoy it. I think that's like very like hold on.
You cut out again.
Yeah, I mean that's something that you really like hold on to. It's what keeps you going, man.
I'm gonna keep going, of course, and yeah, it's gonna be hard, but I'll pull through and I'll make the best that I absolutely can, and I'll continue doing so until the day the podcast ends. And I'm not looking in any way or shape or form to end the podcast anytime soon, so it's gonna definitely run for a long time.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it happen, man.
Although I have one question for you. And this question I have asked the others as well. But how has the community, like, if you look at it from all the way back then to right now, how would you describe it? Well, I actually didn't ask that. I'm gonna ask the other one afterwards. I wanna hear personally this one first.
Are you talking about the Two Kinds community in general, or are you talking about
Just a podcast. Just a
podcast?
podcast. Yeah. The other one can be a whole another episode for another day.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is that an invitation? I mean,
Maybe. We'll see.
You know, I don't really know what to say with that, because on one hand, it's giving me like a sense of like responsibility. Like, this is a community that I have to care for.
Mm.
You know, because I am partially responsible for what goes on in here. That being said, it's been very, you know, encouraging to like meet like other people who are like so like enthusiastic about it. It's very nice.
Mm. Now, how would you say the podcast has evolved?
So you definitely become more professional with it.
Yeah. That I cannot disagree with.
I feel like it's because you've had guests since the beginning, so I can't really say like, oh, you started getting more like high profile people on, because from the very very beginning you've had people that have wanted to come on, which is great.
Yeah.
And it shows that you really have an idea here that works. I would say that like the conversations have been, I guess, more like concise. Like you get distracted a little bit sometimes, but you've been better at getting on track, staying on track. And I think that's really good. Like, you know, because I mean, I'm just gonna critique a little bit here.
Yeah, go on with that.
You want to let your guest talk.
Yeah.
Not as much as you, which is a little tip of like that I picked up from like I think it was a book called How to Influence Friends, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and that's let other people talk about themselves, because that's who people like the most.
I mean, that is probably because of my ADHD that I like have a feeling that I need to like say something or easily get distracted. That I think that partially comes from that.
I will say I'm very much like the same way of like I don't want to toot my own horn, but I know a lot about a lot of different fields, like whether that be like comic books or just 3D printing is a big thing with me. I know a little bit about everything, so I always have something to talk about, but that's the problem. I always have something to talk about, so I never let the other person talk.
But yeah, I guess that's mostly it from me, to be quite fair. Like, just the fact that I try my best, and yes, I agree with you. At times, I do speak a little too much, but I also do that in real life.
Yeah, you're getting better with that.
I also do that in real life, so I guess I'm in a sense just being myself. Which again,
and yeah, I think that's one of the I guess like key hooks to this podcast is that it's mainly a conversation between you and another person. It's not
that
like
is something that I actually learned, and recently, fun fact, I was actually doing a podcast with my mayor.
Oh really?
Yeah, not about TwoKinds, of course, but like I did a podcast with my mayor, but like they asked me for a tip because they knew I was
Denmark
doing
mayor
this.
secretly a furry ?
Yeah. But like they ask me a question: how do you make these podcasts? And now this is for anyone who wants to start a podcast. Actually,
I responded by saying with today's sponsor, Anchor.
Maybe.
No, we're not doing that.
So what I
We
responded
can
with
cut that.
just
the thing is, when you make a podcast, you need to realize something. You need to realize that you're not here to entertain. You're here to have a conversation. And if you focus on
You're
conversation,
here to have a conversation. That's entertaining.
then listen up before you cut
Yeah.
there. But you just have to have a conversation, because if you focus on being entertaining, you screw up. That's where that's where you screw up, especially as a starter with making podcasts. But if you just have a conversation, you may not realize it, but you're actually being entertaining by having that conversation. And if you just focus on having that conversation, you won't screw up on not being entertaining. Of course,
Yeah,
you
I
can't just
think- I
talk
think
about the
the,
most boring. Of course, you can't talk about the most boring thing known to mankind. But like
So, comrade, what did you have for lunch this morning?
this kind
Why
of
did I
stuff.
say
But
you
like
have lunch in the morning? What is
exactly.
wrong with me?
But if you just have like this conversation that we've been having, then you actually entertain without like really realizing that you are.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And this is something I wish I knew before, like, I started this podcast. I wish I knew this kind of stuff, but oh well.
Yeah, I think that's something I was like silently saying in my head is like, okay, when are you getting back to the actual conversation?
I mean, that always, I guess you could say that always happens at times where you get off topic, and sometimes it's a little hard getting back on topic, but I try
Yeah.
my best.
The real problem is when it's like you go off topic in an off topic. So it's
Yeah.
like Inception, you gotta go back through the levels.
Inception. I guess you could say that, yeah, but
Yeah, you've been getting very good with that, of like staying on topic.
I'm trying my best, I guess. So, other than that,
I mean, that's all you can do.
yeah, exactly. But other than that, I want to say thank you so much for coming on.
All right, appreciate being here.
Yeah,
Thank
like,
you.
it's been nice, like trying something new, especially with like my actual admin and my staff team. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're always here to, help out. And, don't hesitate to reach out.
Now, since you're the last one, I'm actually gonna do something I've never done before. I'm gonna let another person do the outro.
What?
Yeah.
All right, really putting me on the spot here.
yeah. I know.
All right, let me see if I got this. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining. This has been the 20th episode of the Two Kinds podcast. Again, we appreciate you so much sticking with us throughout this entire thing. And comrade, feel free to just start like fading it out whenever you feel like it. Just it's really been a trip. We've really enjoyed how far we've come. And yeah, hope to see you for the next one. Many, many more.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. So, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye.
Now, editing comrade here on another microphone. I've been editing for the last 11 hours in total now. This podcast is taking around 11 hours to prepare and edit and everything. Like, I am so exhausted at this point, and I'm so sad that I couldn't get this out on Friday, because I'm actually doing it on Friday right now, but like, it's so late that it's going to not being able to render in time. And for anyone who's still listening, thank you so much. It means so much. I'm so exhausted right now, so I'm sorry for like being like this. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna go out and throw my fucking monitor or something. I don't know. I'm so exhausted. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I knew I said Nathan was gonna do the outro, but I feel like I had to do something. So yeah, this is it, and just know new content is coming up. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm really trying my best here, but it's hard doing what I want to do. But it may go slow, but it's happening at some point. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. please do subscribe and like for my mental health. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. Night.